Oh yeah, we're back.
With another episode of The Road to Code.
What episode is this? Episode 7.
7.
Let's get the numeration right. Very cool. Well, Jonathan,
Yeah.
I heard we got some new merch at the store.
Oh, yeah. Check it out.
Let's check it out.
All right. On our website, the official merch tab goes to our featured products and just added a stainless steel tumbler.
That's right.
And also the black mug. Welcome to the dark side.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. I mean, just keep in mind, guys, that we do take time to do some research and do some editing, and your support is greatly appreciated.
Yeah.
Gerard, let's get right into it. What are we talking about in today's Linux segment?
We are talking about piping, T commands, and Xargs.
So excited for this one. Some more cool stuff. You know, the last episode, we had some really cool stuff going on. I mean, the whole Linux segment has been really cool. The whole head-to-head Windows versus Linux was really cool. And then we had the redirection of standard input, standard output, standard error. And now we're going to be talking about piping. Let's get right into it. Let's share your screen and let's talk a little bit about piping. So when it comes to piping, so, you know, in the last episode, we changed where standard input came from, and we changed where standard output went to. And then we also changed where the standard error was outputted to. And so we were able to change that with the greater than and the less than signs and stuff like that. But that's when you're providing input into one of the programs, right? Whether it be the cat, whether it be the date, whether it be something, you're changing the standard input. But when we're talking about piping, we're talking about sending the results of one command to another command. So you're daisy chaining the commands, and whatever output one command produces, you're going to pass that output into another one, and that's called piping. So I think one of the things that I'd like to do is we need a file with a lot of data. So you want to go ahead and fire up Firefox, and we could do a search. Let's do a search on Google for city and state list. It'd be really cool if they had a command line browser, huh? You just sit there and type whatever you wanted to type, and the results would be instant. So there's a listing. See that second listing in Wikipedia? Let's go to that one. That one has a nice table to it that we can use in order to put it into a text file. So if you scroll down, yeah, there you go. So grab everything starting from the 1 and just go all the way to the bottom of the table. Whoa. That's a good chunk of data there. And then copy that. So you Control C, or yeah. And then let's open up a text editor in the virtual box. So I guess you can do like touch. What what would you call it? You can call it topcities.txt. And then go ahead and open up your file explorer and open that puppy up, and let's go ahead and paste it in there. And let's go ahead and save this. And we can go ahead and close it. So we just want a lot of data in there. That's essentially what we want. Because what we want to do is we want to talk about putting multiple commands together. And so the first one I think that we're going to talk about is the cat command. Okay. We know that we can run cat on this particular file. And let's go ahead and run the cat command on this file, and let's see what results we get. Not very useful, huh? It's a little messy, a little scattered. Even if you were to increase the size of this window, it's a little messy. And so it's not all the data that you want, right? One of the things that we could do is we can say, well, what if we just want to see the cities, right? There's a command called cut, and cut allows you to view a particular column. This file, go ahead and open up in the text editor again. Go ahead and go to the top of the file. And the big space between the 1 and New York, if you were to move your arrows, what type of space is that? Is that spaces or tab?
Looks like a tab.
So yeah, so you can go back and forth, and it looks like one big space, but it's or a lot of spaces, but it's really just a tab.
Yeah.
So that's going to be what we call our delimiter. The delimiter just says, if you were to break this up into columns, what is your delimiter? And so for us, it's going to be a tab. All right. So yeah, we'll go ahead and close this. And let's just say that we want to see the cities. So we can use a cut command. And with the cut command, we can go ahead and say that our delimiter is a tab and that we want to grab field number 2 or column number 2. They call them fields. And then we would pass in the name of the file.
Whoa.
So that cleans up our data a little bit, right? Let's go to the top of that list and let's look at that command. So cut basically says, what do you want to cut out of the file? And we're telling it by using the delimiter, and our delimiter happens to be a tab, and that's how you denote a tab. If we had spaces, we would just put empty quotes with a space in between. But a tab is a special character, so we have to prefix it with a $sign and then the backslash and stuff. And then we have to tell it, once you figure out all the columns based on the tab, we want to grab column number 2, which happens to be the cities. And then we pass in the name of the file, and it'll go and do all the work for us. But that's still a lot of data, right? So let's go check out, there's a command called head, which basically gives you the top 10 rows of any file. So we just say head, top cities. This gives us the first 10 rows, right? So you can see where we're going here, right? It's like we have this file that has a lot of data, but we only want to see one column, and we only want to see the top 10 rows from that column. And I think there's also tail, which shows you the last 10 rows. So let's go ahead and show the tail command. This is the tail end of the file, basically. All right. So you with me so far?
Yep.
Cool. So let's do this. Let's let's go ahead and grab the head of the file. So we'll type in head topcities.txt. We can actually put the topcities.txt at this point, or we could put it at the end of the command. Both of them work. And then we can go ahead and pipe the results of top city into the cut command. Yep. Look at that.
Sweet.
So essentially what we done is we said, go ahead and grab the first 10 rows. It's a big mess. You know, it goes beyond the screen size.
The head.
Yep. And then we're piping that result into the cut command.
That's cool.
That's
And we can do the
crazy.
same thing with tail. So if you just up arrow and replace head with tail.
Oh, one.
And that'll give us the last 10 of the command. So that's piping. You know, like again, you know, the previous episode we had changing the input and the output, but what we're doing here is we're sending the results of one command into the input of another command. And so you can see where we used them individually, and now we're just going to daisy chain the commands together.
Nice.
Kind of cool.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty cool. All right.
I like it. Picasso.
I like it too. And so like the other thing that we could do is, I mean, we can do like a bunch of other stuff, right? We can actually, we don't have to, I mean, I think it would be kind of redundant to use a cat and a head because essentially they're doing the same thing. But just for the sake of demonstration, let's go ahead and we'll do a cat on top cities. We'll pipe the result into head, and then we'll pipe those results into the cut.
Interesting.
So essentially you end up with the same results. But the only thing that we did, and for demonstration purposes, is that you can cat the results. So you can go spin through the whole file. You just go from top to bottom and then pass that into the head, which is kind of redundant in this case, but for demonstration purposes, and then pipe that. So you can see, you could just pipe commands one right after the other. Whatever result you get from one, you pipe it right into the next one.
Nice.
Cool stuff, huh?
Yeah, the same like outcome, but a lot more stuff.
Yeah. It probably not the way you would do it in real life for demo. And you can replace the head with tail. So if you just up arrow and replace head with tail, you'd end up with the last ones. But I think it's always important to like run each individual command, understand what the commands are doing, right? What are the results that it's producing before you start piping them? Because if you just start piping from the beginning, it makes it a little difficult to understand and just to kind of wrap your mind around it, right? Where if you see each individual command execute, you look at the results, you're like, okay, so those results are going into the next result, and those results are going into the next one, and so on and so forth. So does some pretty cool things. Now, let me finish blowing your mind here. Because not only can we pipe commands, so we can pipe results of one to the next command, we can also do standard output redirection. So if you up arrow, and all we need to do is just add the greater than sign. And let's just put last 10 cities.txt.
That's it.
That's it. So now we're going to pipe all these commands. And what did it do?
Yeah, I created another text file with the last 10 cities.
Exactly.
Whoa, you're a magician.
So you could So not only can you pipe commands, the results of commands to one another, you can also change the redirection. So we just outputted the results, the final results, we outputted them.
Crazy.
And you could do that with the head and just say top 10 cities. So if you up arrow, what is it, 3 times?
There it is.
Yep.
Wow.
That's kind of cool, huh?
Crazy. You could do everything in the freaking terminal.
It's magic.
You can
Without
even-
like having to go off screen and click a new text file and then
believe it or not, if you have a smart coffee pot, you can activate it from your terminal. I don't know that you'd want to do that, but I think that's a lot more work than just pressing the on button.
But it's good if you're hardcore coding and don't want to get up.
That's right. That is right.
I got something in my eye. Okay.
All right. I got to go back to these videos and take out all these bloopers and blunders and stuff, and just create a bunch of little videos,
Little funny things.
little funny things. All right. So the other thing, okay, so what we've done is, so if you can imagine, just imagine you've taken some plumbing pipes. Everybody knows what plumbing pipes look like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have, if you look at the bottom of the, you got your kitchen sink, right? Where you turn the water on, you got the water spout, it pours water, and then the water goes down the drain. And if you open the covers under, right, there's one pipe that comes down from your sink. And then it connects to another pipe that curves, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at it, it kind of curves like this.
A
And it
J.
has that J. And then once that J, there's another pipe that's connected, and that one then goes out to the drain, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got 3 pipes, essentially, 2 straight pipes and one with the J on the J-shaped pipe. But what if you wanted to capture something before it was piped into the next command, right? So like, let's just say, for example, let's say, for example, that you did a cat on top cities, right? That's just going to grab everything. But then you pass in the results to head, but you want to see what is it that head is going to pass into the cut command, right? Before you get those results. There's a thing called T. And so if you can imagine, like we just imagine 3 pipes, 2 straight pipes and 1 J-shaped pipe. But if you have a pipe with a T, whatever flows on that pipe, you can tee it out, right? It can make it go to different directions.
Mm-hmm.
So what we can do is we can actually go and tee out after head. We can actually tee it to see what the results that are being passed into the cut. So if you just simply up arrow, and you could leave everything in there. Right after head, you're going to go ahead and type in the T command. And the results of that T command, we can send it out to, I don't know, let's call it cutrows.txt. And then you can pipe. What's going to happen, it'll grab those results and then it's going to pipe them. So it'll do something with it and then it's going to pipe them to the next one. So let's go ahead and run it. And we should go see a couple of files in there. We should see top 10 cities, which should have us the top 10 cities.
Mm-hmm.
And the result of those top 10 cities are from the cut row.txt. So let's look at what's in there.
Oh.
So it pipes it to the T. The T creates that particular file.
Yeah, before the cut.
Before the cut, and it actually passes the same results to the cut.
Whoa.
So that's called teeing, right? So you can send the results to two different places. And you could do that with several things. I mean, we can go and tee, and maybe we want to cut to something different, just like make two different cuts on it and stuff. So we can do that. But yeah, that's I really like some of these commands. I mean, they have so many things that we can do. And that's the T. But I tell you what, the one that is the most impressive that I have found is the Xargs command. So there's some commands that you can't pipe into it. Like, say, for example, let's just say you want to delete the file topcities.txt, right? So the way that you would do that, if you type in rm space topcities.txt, don't press enter though. This is how the rm, it's basically remove, and this is how it would work. But let's just say that you want to pipe something into the remove command. The remove command, it doesn't really, it can't be part of a pipe. And that's just, some of these commands are just like that. You can't have input into one of those. So instead, what you need to do is you need to go and do something like the Xargs command. And so the Xargs command will go and grab information from one command, and then you can pipe it into Xargs, and then Xargs can then run it through another command. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking we can do something with our playground. Do we have a playground? Yeah, we got playground. Yes. So why don't you go ahead and CD? Oh, yes. Go into the haystack. This is where we want to be. So go ahead and in your command line, CD into playground and haystack.
Oh, what the?
Very cool. And if we do an ls here, what do we have? We have a lot of files, right? So you remember in these folders, we got folders 1 through 100. And then we also have files 1 through 100 in each one of these folders, right? Mm-hmm. But let's say that we went overboard and we're like, we didn't need 100 files in each one of these folders. We could have done just 50 of them, right? So we can go and use the ls command to go and pull those 50 files out in a list. So we can just the way we created them with the curly braces and the number and the dot, 1 dot to 100.
Yeah.
We can go and find the files the same way. So go ahead and let's find those 50 files in each one of those folders.
Like that, right?
That's right. Just like that. So this should give us the listing of files 51 through 100 in all 100 of these folders. So let's go ahead and press enter.
Whoa.
And there shouldn't be anything between 1 and 50.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. There's 51.
Yep.
And it starts over. Yep.
So these results, we can pipe this. So if we needed we created 100 folders, we created 100 files within each folder. And we're like, yeah, we went a little overboard. We only really needed 50 files in there. So you can just up arrow and pipe this result into the rm command. So if we try to go ahead and try to do it just to the rm command. So we
RM
can
like that, right?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay.
So you can see where it says, hey, you're missing some information. Because the rm command, you cannot pipe into. And so the people that created Linux, they said, it would be good if we can pipe into it. So what they did is they created a command called Xargs, which does accept a pipe. and then it sends the information over to the command that you want to run. So if you just up arrow and prefix that RM with Xargs,
Bam.
press enter. Now up arrow a couple of times and go see if we can find the 50 files.
Like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
Whoa.
such files. Yeah, let's go make sure. Go open up your playground and the haystack and just check any one of these folders. And yeah, there's only 50. Yeah. Jonathan, pick another folder. Let's make sure that we got it right.
Dude, you're showing me magic right now. Let's go to 42.
42, because that's what life is.
Is there?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of cool, huh? And again, it's using the whole, what do they call that command in algebra? The distributive properties.
Yeah.
And so, we're using the same concept. It's basic math. And so we're going look for specific files and it's able to find them. And we can go ahead and pipe those into Xargs. And then Xargs sends it over to the RM command. And so that's really the whole purpose of Xargs, is because there's commands like RM that can't accept the piping. And so that's where the Xargs, and the guys that created the whole Linux thing, they were pretty smart. They knew what they were getting into, And so, but yeah, that's what do you call it? Piping, the T command, and Xargs in a nutshell.
Wow.
Pretty cool. I mean, this thing, the freaking command line, man, it's powerful, huh?
Yeah, super powerful.
Endless possibilities.
Yeah.
It makes you look like a magician, Beej.
Yep.
It's some really cool stuff. So, Beej, final thoughts here. What's in store for our next episode?
The next episode, we will be viewing the contents of a file, sorting the contents of that file, and searching the contents of a file.
So the cut command just isn't enough for you, huh? You're just asking for more and more.
Yep.
Very
Crazy.
cool. Yeah.
Craziness.
It's some really cool stuff. So yeah, I mean, this took some time for us to put together. You did your research, I did my research, and we come together with our notes and we put this as a little demonstration. How can people show us the appreciation, Beej?
They can head over to buymeacupofcoffee.com/theroadtocode, and you could buy 3 cups of coffee for all of us.
That's right. That'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Please.
I prefer a chai tea latte, but the price of a cup of coffee, I'll pitch in the rest of it. I'm good with that.
Especially with the oat milk now. Gotta be lactose free.
Oat milk is so good, I don't know if it's the fact that there's so much sugar in the oat milk that it just makes it taste good, because it's pretty high in sugar, actually. I don't know if you've noticed, but anyways, I digress. Very cool. So yeah, I think this is a good place to stop, and we'll pick it up on the next episode. Until next time.
Peace.